Universal greetings, y'all. I had to do this video early in the morning. It's like, well, it's not quite 12 o'clock, but it's almost 12 o'clock. California time. And I just woke up and I seen the video on Sonetta TV where they had this sister, lawyer. Her name is Ikiesha Shabazz. Ikiesha or Lakeisha Shabazz, right? Lawyer, right? Now, first of all, let's look up what a lawyer is. It's qualified because going into the video, I seen that they didn't really qualify a lot of what they were speaking on. They were just broadly speaking from a position of just critiquing, you know what I'm saying, but not actually qualifying any of their statements. So let's look up what an attorney is, first of all. Attorney. Okay? Let's look up that. Give me a sec, y'all. I don't want this to be a long video, but I gotta actually put things on a record. Right? Attorney. A person appointed to act for another in business or legal matters, right? Okay, I'm gonna go further into it, right? Because words synonymous with lawyer, counsel, legal practitioner, legal professional, legal representative, member of the bar. That's what I really wanted to get to. Now, if you look up member of the bar, just look that up in a minute. Advocate, you know what I'm saying? All these other words that mean now. The etymology is Old French, right? Eternal, turn, right? Meaning turn over evidence of the court. They're officers, basically, of the court, right? And I kind of went, and they are appointed to act. Appointed to act. Right? So, they saying attorney is appointed to act. Appointed by who? Right? And if you have to pay an attorney to defend you, aren't they paid? Aren't they paid? Making them basically operating in commerce or commercial law. I just wanted to qualify what I'm saying. A lawyer is someone who is appointed for another in business or legal matters, right? Just to put that in the record. Plus, they are members of the bar. Okay, now let's look up a member of the Bar Association. Because I want to be clear. The Bar Association. Okay, bear with me, y'all. We want to be clear. Let's be clear on these things. Because we really want to be actual factual. We want to qualify what we're saying. We're not just gonna. The Bar Association is a private, is a professional body. Woo! A professional body of lawyers. What's a body? Okay, let's look up professional body before I even go further, because this is going to get interesting. Professional professional association or a professional association, also called a professional body, professional organization, a professional society, is usually a non-profit organization seeking to further a particular profession in the interest of the individual engaging in the profession and the public interest. Hmm. The profession in the public interest. Now, I'm revealing so much to those who understand what's going on here, right? They're a part of a body politics, associate body politics, right? That is delving in professional society. It's a professional society, and seeking per. It says they're usually a nonprofit, right? They're usually, but it's more 9 times out of 10, they say they usually are nonprofit. But when you're dealing with these municipalities, they are for profit. Don't get it messed up, right? So I just wanted to go on that. And a body is an actual political um, association, a political group. A body is a political group. So you're trying to tell me that the bar association, now let's go on further with the bar association, is a body politics, right? Now let's go further. Some bar associations are responsible for the regulation of the legal profession of the legal profession in their jurisdiction, right? Others are professional organizations dedicated to serving their members. In many cases, they are both. Conflict of interest for them to be both. You can't stand on the authority that was granted to these officers of the court and have a private interest. Okay. Now, in many Commonwealth jurisdictions, you got to realize what a Commonwealth is. The Bar Association comprises lawyers who are qualified by barristers or advocators. I don't know what a barrister is. Let's look it up. Barrister. Also known as the baron at law or bar at law in a term of a lawyer in common law jurisdiction who work at higher levels of court. Barristers also specialists in courtroom advocacy and litigation. Litigation. Their task includes taking cases in Supreme Court and tribunals, drafting legal pleading, pleadings, researching and philosophy, hypotheses and history of law, and gives expert uh, legal opinions. Expert legal opinions. That's very important. Often, barristers are also recognized as legal scholars, right? Barrister, right? To me, it all sounds like we're talking about English law, right? Which has to be qualified. Are you under English law, right? Because there's a distinction if you're under English law. I just want to be clear on that, right? And a barrister is distinguished from solicitors who have more direct access to clients and may do transactional type legal work. Barristers are rarely hired by clients directly. Wow. For those who know, I'm revealing a lot just by reading this right here. And it all stems from attorney. And I still haven't even gotten to the subject matter yet. Is my debunking of this sister, uh, Ikiesha Al Shabazz, or Ikiesha. I don't know if that's an L or I in the beginning of her name. Al Shabazz, and for her to have a Moorish name, for her to dismiss Moorish science, it's kind of weird to me. Okay, now let's go back. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even go into all the details of a lawyer, meaning turning over evidence in the interest of prosecution in the courts, right? They're officers of the court. They have no, in their profession, just by what I say, they have a conflict of interest on their professional duties, right? Are they private or are they public? Right? Is what I'm trying to get to the point. Most of them are being hired by public officials to um, um, for the interest of the actual private corporation that's posing as public, right? Okay, now we broke that down, qualified that statement. Now let's go into the video a little bit so that I can let her speak for herself, and I'm kind of gonna go into it and listen to what they're saying and come back and rebut it. Stay with me, y'all. Let's go through all that. And as she speaks, I'm gonna come back and kind of rebut what she's saying. Not rebut it, but better qualify some of the stuff that they're saying, because I think that they're being disingenuous and, in a sense, deceptive. And they're trying to extinguish the fire of those who actually stand up to the de facto quasi-jurisdictions the municipalities and the states represent. So let's go into this a little bit.
So post all you want, but I've never seen it work. I've never seen someone come into court.
Go back a little more. Bear with me, y'all. Now they're gonna go into status correction. I'm gonna let them do it. I'll be back.
About what? Say that again, brother.
I said, as a lawyer, what do you think about? You have a lot of brothers and sisters in the community that think they can file some paperwork and quote unquote correct their status. So, as a lawyer, what do you think about that? What is your stance on that?
Okay, so you're talking about the sovereignty movement. You know, the people who are filing the affidavits and don't want their name in capital letters. And personally, I think it's bull.
Okay, I want to stop it right there, because first of all, he asked a question about, is status correction, does it have any legitimacy to it? And the sister automatically says it's bullshit. She automatically said it's bullshit. She didn't go and expound on why it's bullshit. She just said it's bullshit. Right? Going back to what I was saying about they're trying to extinguish the fire of those who actually have in the heart to challenge the jurisdiction of these courts, these municipalities. You know what I'm saying? Who are privately owned or running private business. Right? In the interest of some bonds company, or in the interest of securing some type of bond that they have opened You know what I'm saying? In their de facto system. You know what I'm saying? And she's totally dismissed it without even qualify anything. She totally dismissed it. Now I'm gonna go back to what she was saying, but she totally dismissed it, which is expected from a lawyer. I'm gonna come back though. It's getting good.
Personally, I think it's bullshit. I've seen people in court make this argument and go nowhere with it. Here's the problem. The problem is that the people, the people who want to be declared sovereigns, right? You're filing paperwork with the courts that you say don't have jurisdiction over you. So I'm trying to understand if.
Okay, here we go again. She says that we're people who are, first of all, he's already, he ain't got to that part yet. Let's qualify sovereign. Now, she's throwing around the word sovereign as if people are, me personally, I'm not going to talk about people because this is exactly what I was talking about. They're at speaking as if they're talking about everyone who's delving into this level of understanding or information and stuff. She said that I believe she was talking about how the status correction, it doesn't work. She's still not qualifying, but she's saying that her argument is that how are you filing anything trying to get recognized by the jurisdiction that you're challenging, right? So she basically saying how you're challenging, you're saying you're not in the jurisdiction, but at the same time, you're asking them to recognize you in some type of capacity. And yeah, there are arguments. That's a good argument for those who don't understand how to assert their authority or assert their position legally and politically in these courts, right? And she's wrong with those who recognize what to do in this stuff, in the fact that saying that we're trying to be recognized by the court. No, we're just putting things on the record, right? And if you understand certain maxims of law, where you have to stay in honor, where you must not engage in public conflict, right? So that you can stay in honor, right? This is the point of actually filing these affidavits, putting certain things on the record. Now, we're not expecting these municipalities, these states, we're not expecting them to recognize it. This is a protest, right? We're not expecting them to recognize it, but we're putting certain things on the record that can't be rebutted. And as putting certain things that on the record that can't be rebutted, it stands as law. Now, all you would have to do was walk in that status that you put on the record, right? So, no, we're not trying to be recognized by the courts or the jurisdiction. We're just putting certain things on the record so that the courts and the jurisdiction would recognize our legal and political disposition. Let's go into some more.
Have the jurisdiction over you, how can they declare you anything? I'm not understanding that. I don't understand that, because when you file that paperwork, which they never filed properly, right? You have to file paperwork on notice of motion also, and you have to file a copy with the DA. They never do that, right? They only file these affidavits with the court, which are ineffective. But even if you did file it properly with notice on motion, you're asking the court to do something, right? Because a motion is a request to move the court. So if you're asking the court to do something, recognize me as a sovereign, how can you in the same breath say you don't have jurisdiction over me? Which is it? I don't see, it seems counterintuitive to me. And I've seen the case law. I've seen the law that the Moors rely on. I understand that they believe that this is maritime jurisdiction and all of that. But if you don't get those people that you are asking to recognize that, then all they have to do is deny your motion, and you're back where you started with your name.
Again, no one who's actually on a square is asking for anything. We're just putting stuff on the record. We're not registering our property. We're just putting the state and the municipalities on notice. We're not asking for recognition.
In capital letters. So I'm not. If it's going to ever work, they're going to have to find a new way for it to work, because it's not working the way that they're trying to get it to work now.
Have you seen a lot of brothers come in with their feds on, and they coming in and they represent themselves? Talk about that experience.
I haven't seen it a lot. I've seen it a couple of times, and the judges really just allow them to go on their soliloquy. They stand there for a good 20 minutes, giving all the history of the of the national origin and how we are original people on the planet. And then the judge goes, "Are you finished?" Motion denied. And that's it.
Okay.
That's it. There's nowhere to go.
Let me pause it. There she is again, trying to extinguish the fire of those who have brave enough. She's an attorney, so I expect that from her. But I'm gonna come back and do another video on this, because this is very important what is going on here, and I'm sick of people talking from a position of knowing, but are not delving into the nuances and the diversity or the various factors of this subject matter. They're just totally not qualifying their statement, totally dismissing the arguments, right? And I'm going to come back and do a part 2 of it. I'll be back. Peace.